Are the exercises that you're doing wasting your time? I'm Sultan and I've helped multiple busy guys lose fat and build muscle so they can achieve their ultimate goal, which is getting ripped. And in this video, I'm going to rank 14 different exercises and I'm going to show you which ones are worth doing and which ones belong in the trash. Now, the first exercise is the standard flat barbell bench. And I'm going to put this exercise in the C tier. Now, before you burn me at the cross, just hear me out. The standard flat bench has you place your arms wider than your shoulder width, which means that you get very good activation for the chest, but your triceps and your shoulders don't really get activated all that much. Now, obviously, this is not to say that you're not going to get any growth in your triceps and your shoulders if you get strong at the flat bench, but you're not going to get the best growth that you possibly can. Now, if you were to bring your arms in a little closer to shoulder width, then the exercise might go into B tier or maybe even A tier. Because all of a sudden, as soon as you bring your arms in closer, you're getting a lot more activation for the triceps and you're getting a lot more activation for your front delts. And the purpose of us doing exercises in the gym as busy guys is to get the most bang for our buck. Meaning that for every exercise that we do, we want it to put on as much muscle onto our body as humanly possible. But since there's other exercises like the fourth exercise that I'm going to show you that can put more muscle onto our body than the flat bench, I'm going to have to leave the flat bench in C tier. The second exercise that we're going to talk about is going to be the conventional deadlift. This goes straight into F tier, no debate. This exercise fucking sucks. It takes forever to set up once you get decently strong at it, and that alone makes it shitty enough to be in F tier. But guess what? It also doesn't give you fantastic muscle growth for your back or your hamstrings or your glutes. It targets a lot of muscle groups, therefore not really being effective at growing any muscle group. Most people do the deadlift hoping that it's going to grow their back, but there's other exercises that grow your back for less than half the time. And obviously there's going to be a group of people that's watching this video that are going to lose their mind and go, oh my god bro, squat, bench, deadlift, the big three, you can't just ignore the deadlift. Shut the fuck up. The people who tell you that squat, bench, deadlift are the three biggest exercises that you need to do and they're the most important and you can never skip out on them look like this. And if you want to look like that, then just click off this video and report me because I'm never going to be able to help you anyways. Now, if you want to build a lean, muscular body without spending all day in the gym, then you don't need to do the deadlift. And I know this for a fact because I genuinely do not remember the last time I deadlifted and I am in the best shape of my life. So the deadlift goes into F tier, and if you disagree with me, you can fuck off the video, report me, because you're probably not going to like anything else I have to say anyways. The third exercise that we're going to talk about is going to be the overhead press. Now I'm going to put this in the C tier. And the only reason that I didn't put it into E tier or even F tier is because for some people who've never been in the gym, and if you are a complete beginner who's never lifted a weight in his life, then the overhead press might be worth doing for you since it gives you good growth for your shoulders. But the reason that this exercise is in the C tier is because you already train your shoulders so well when you do any pressing exercise at all. So you do an incline press, you do a flat press, you do a decline press. It doesn't matter what press you do. As long as you're pressing, you're already using your shoulders a whole lot. So to do another exercise that only targets the shoulders is not necessary. And say, for example, if you were to join my school community and work with me one-on-one, what I would have you doing instead of doing overhead presses, I would have you doing some other exercise that trains other muscle groups in that time. Now, the fourth exercise that I'm going to rank is going to be the medium grip incline bench press. This is going straight into S tier, no debate. Every single person that I train inside my school community does this exercise without fail. And I myself have built the majority of my chest on this one exercise. The medium grip makes sure that your triceps and your shoulders are getting trained really well. And because you're at an incline, you're gonna get fantastic growth for your chest. And all of that combined with the fact that this exercise is easy to perform and set up makes it go into the S tier. And I believe that it is the best exercise that busy guys can do if they want to build a lean muscular body. The fifth exercise that I'm going to rank is going to be the goblet squat, and this is going into D tier, which means that it's not really worth doing. Now, the reason that I put the goblet squats into D tier and not F tier is because they're really quick to set up and they're really quick to perform. You can get done with 3 sets of these within 15 minutes. But the problem with the goblet squats is for them to be effective, you either need to have the skinniest legs in the world or the strongest shoulders and arms in the world. And let me explain why. So for the goblet squat, you pick up a dumbbell, hold it in front of you, and you squat with it. Now the problem with this is that for the weight to be heavy enough to grow your legs, it's going to be too heavy for you to hold up with your shoulders and arms. And for the weight to be light enough to hold up with your shoulders and arms, it's going to be way too light for your legs. And so to summarize the problem, your legs are always going to be stronger than your shoulders and arms, and your shoulders and arms are always going to be weaker than your legs. So this exercise is really trash. which is why the sixth exercise that I'm putting straight into S tier is the barbell back squat. Now, I'm gonna be honest, the barbell back squat is decently time consuming. It's gonna probably take you 20 minutes to get done with 3 to 4 sets of these, but it is the best exercise for your lower body, full stop. If I could only do one exercise for my lower body for the rest of my life, it would be this exercise. And the reason for that is because nobody I know that squats 315 with good form has small legs or small glutes or a small lower body in general. So it's incredibly effective at growing your lower body, which is enough to put it into S tier. But the problem that goblet squats had, and this exercise doesn't, is that you're not limited by how strong your shoulders and your arms are. You're only limited by how strong your legs are, which is exactly what we want. Now, the seventh exercise that I'm going to rank is going to be the underhand lat pull down. And if you've watched any of my other videos, you know this is going straight into S tier because of how effective it is, how efficient it is, and just, I mean, I love this exercise. I would make love to this exercise if I could. This exercise will grow your back incredibly well. It'll grow your biceps incredibly well. It'll grow your forearms incredibly well. And I mean, do I even need to say anything more? Just fucking do this exercise, bro. And guess what? You should get done with 4 sets of this exercise within 15 minutes. So it is a win-win. Now, the next exercise I'm going to rank is going to be the lateral raise. Lateral raises of any kind with cables or with dumbbells, it doesn't really matter. This exercise is going into A tier. Now, this exercise doesn't really take a lot of time, but the reason that I'm putting it into A tier instead of B, C, D, or E tier is because this exercise trains the side delts, which is probably the most important muscle group if you want to have a lean muscular body. The side delts make you look wide and they make you look like you lift when you wear shirts. And while the front of your shoulders get trained pretty well when you do pressing movements and the back of your shoulders get trained pretty well when you do pulling movements, the side delts don't really get a lot of work when you're doing any other exercise. So isolating them is probably a good idea. The ninth exercise is going to be the calf raise. Now this is going to have to go into S tier just because there's no other exercise that trains your calves. And your calves are pretty important, especially when you're wearing shorts. Now, the way that most people do calf raises doesn't even belong in F tier. It's like, that's fucking below F tier. It's like a part of history that people want to forget. You know, when you talk to the British about the American Revolution, they're like, yeah, we don't really want to talk about that because we got our asses kicked. That's what calf raises with bad form should be like. They're so terrible. When I see people in the gym and they're just bouncing on their toes, I'm like, are you trying to jump? Are you trying to figure out what your vertical reach is? That exercise is stupid. I'm not going to say that word, but it rhymes with restarted. So if you're doing them with good form, then they are S tier. Otherwise, fuck them off. Don't even do them. The next exercise that I'm going to rate is going to be the bicep curls. Now, the bicep curls are going straight into C tier. And the reason that they are going there is because the only muscle that bicep curls train is the biceps. And the biceps can get trained in other ways when you do underhand lat pull downs or really any other pulling movement. Now, I'm not going to go so far as to say that bicep curls are not worth doing, especially if you're someone who wants to grow their arms. But if you're a busy guy who's looking to build a lean muscular body, I wouldn't say that that exercise is mandatory to do. The 11th exercise that I'm going to rank is going to be the decline bench press, and I'm putting it into C tier. Now, the reason that I'm putting it into C tier is the same reason that I've put every other exercise into C tier 4. It works, but it doesn't work in the way that we want it to. When you're doing the decline bench, you're just training the lower part of your chest. You're getting little to nothing for your front shoulders. You're getting little to nothing for your triceps. I mean, the lower chest, it's not really that important, doesn't look the best. The upper chest is a lot more important. So the decline bench press, I mean, I don't see why people do it. I mean, you're gonna get okay growth for your lower chest if you just do flat pressing. There's no need to do decline pressing and reduce the amount of activation you're getting for the front of your shoulders and for your triceps. The 12th exercise that I'm gonna rank is going to be the bent over row, and I'm gonna put it into B tier, and it really pains me to say that because it's a fantastic exercise. It's just a little difficult to set up, and also the stronger you get at them, the more difficult they become to set up. But the reason that I put the deadlift into F tier and this exercise into B tier is because to get strong at the deadlift, really easy. Within a few weeks, you can pull more than 225. But to get strong at this exercise, it takes time. So it's still worth doing. But in my opinion, doing rows on a machine where it's easier to load up the weight and load off the weight is more bang for my buck, which is why I don't have all of my clients do this exercise, but some of them still do the exercise because they like doing it. Now, the 13th exercise that I'm going to rank is going to be the dumbbell front raise. This is going straight into F tier, and I don't even want to fucking talk about this shit. It pisses me off The amount of people I see in the gym doing this exercise, it's a fucking waste of your time, bro. You're literally better off doing any other exercise for the shoulders, maybe even the overhead press, because at least it'll target the side delts a little bit. At least it'll target the triceps a little bit. At least it'll target a little bit of your upper chest. This exercise only targets the front delts, which get trained so well in other exercises. And the reason that I'm getting so fired up talking about this exercise is because it's literally stupid and it's so common that I see it performed in the gym every fucking day. And if I didn't have my own workout to complete, I would literally walk up to people in the gym and tell them how stupid they are for doing this exercise. Dumbbell front raises, fucking waste of time for busy guys. Never do them. Last exercise that I'm going to rank is going to be the dumbbell or any wrist curls really. These are going into D tier for the same reason that the front raises are in the F tier. They train a muscle group that already gets trained pretty well, so they're not really necessary to perform and they don't add significant muscle to your body. But Sultan, if this exercise has the same cons as the dumbbell front raise, then why did the dumbbell front raise get going F tier and why did this exercise get to being E tier? Because this exercise trains the forearms and the dumbbell front raises train the front of your shoulders. And way more people that go to the gym have overdeveloped front shoulders than overdeveloped forearms. So this exercise would kind of be worth doing if you've got really skinny wrists like me and you need to build up your forearms. So if you've watched this far, you've learned that a lot of exercises that busy guys are doing in the gym are just wasting their time, and some exercises are really not worth doing. Now I'm gonna end this video and go have a fucking cold drink or something because I'm gonna have a heart attack. I'm so pissed. If you want to learn how to craft time efficient workouts, then you can go watch this video. That's it, man. I'm ending this. Fuck front raises.